practice of yoga. My name is Tracy, and as always, let's come onto our mats and arrive here. Let's take this space and this time that we have set apart for ourselves and begin to arrive on our mats. Find yourself a nice sukhasana, a nice easy seat where you can remain for the next few minutes in comfort as we begin our meditation and then our guided meditation. So once you found a nice easy seat, sit up nice and tall, lengthen through your spine, and simply begin to become aware of your breath this morning. And this is the spring equinox this weekend. So that is when the daytime is exactly the same length as the nighttime. And this is the only time during the year that both of those are balanced. And thinking along those lines, I'm reminded of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is usually looked at as maybe the destroyer, the masculine part of the Godhead. And I refer to Shiva as the destroyer of illusions. And Shakti is that beautiful balancing energy, that creative force. And both of these forces are found within us. So as we start our practice today, I invite you to keep those things in mind. And when you're ready, close your eyes and we'll begin with the practice of pranayama, of deepening our inhales and deepening our exhales. The beautiful practice of pranayama this morning. Perhaps your hands come to rest on your knees, your thighs, or your lap. You just take a mudra with the hands that is comfortable, where we can turn our gaze inward. And as we do that, we check in with our bodies. Do we have any places that are tight or tense? Do we need to make any adjustments in our seating so that we can give our attention to our breath? I invite you to take any necessary adjustments right now and drop into the space. It's a beautiful space we've carved out for ourselves today, where we hold this space. This is sacred. And as we continue to breathe, when thoughts arise, as they always do, simply let go, as if they were floating by on a fast-moving river. As they come, acknowledge them, see them for what they are, and merely let them go. We don't have to become attached to any form of thinking this morning. All we have to do is be here for ourselves and for one another. Let's take a collective inhale. Inhale deeply through the nostrils and exhale out through the mouth, and we'll begin a counted breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And pause, 2, 3, 4. Now return return to your normal breathing pattern. That was a bit of balanced breathing there. I call that box breathing. And it allows us to tune into ourselves, finding ourselves here on our mats today for a moving meditation. Energy flows in and energy flows out. As we inhale and we exhale, we share an exchange of energies with the universe. And it's a beautiful thing. Nice. And when you're ready, allow the eyes to flutter open as we begin our practice of stretch and strength this morning. We'll start with our hands together at our heart center to take some gentle awakening sun breaths this morning to get us going. I invite you to release your chin to your chest, your gaze is to your fingertips. And on an inhale, take the arms, take the hands up overhead, separating at the top, gently allowing those hands to float to the mat. Release the chin to the chest. Let's rotate those palms over. Taking that inhale one more time. And when we're at the top, we reach, we rotate, and we exhale. And release our chin to our chest. Take that one more time. Inhale up overhead. This time, allow your right hand to take hold of your left wrist. And as you exhale, begin a gentle bend over to the right, nice and gentle, and perhaps separate the palms and rotate that right hand and allow it to float to the mat. Turn and look up at the left hand, reach on the inhale, and as you exhale, take the bend a little deeper. Nice awakening this morning. Inhale, roll the shoulder back, take the gaze with it, and as you exhale, maybe come a little deeper into the stretch if it's there for you this morning in your practice. You want to take this practice in a way that serves you and your body and needs today. Take another inhale. Let's bring it all the way back up to center. This time the left hand's going to take hold of the right wrist, and we're going to take that bend over toward the left. Beginning nice and gently, we can separate those palms, turn that left palm down, bring it to the mat, let it walk out a little bit. Look up at that right hand, and as you exhale, feel the intercostal muscles stretching and opening up, preparing us for the day. Inhale, reach back with that arm and that shoulder, and as we exhale, maybe we come a bit deeper into the stretch, feeling the beautiful stretch and strength we're building this morning. Let's take another inhale. Let's come all the way back up. Hands come together. Exhale those hands down to our heart center. Beautiful, beautiful. Uncross your legs now. If you're sitting cross-legged, extend your feet long. Your legs are long. Your feet are out in front. And we'll do a little stretching of the feet this morning. Sometimes they don't get as much love as they need during the day. So take an inhale. Draw your feet back towards your chest. See if you can spread your toes. And as you exhale, point the toes. Make it feel like you're trying to push a tack into the ground with those big toes. Take another inhale. Reach those toes back. And as you exhale, point the toes. Let's do that a few more times, moving breath with body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. and just let those feet come to neutral here. We're going to take our right leg. We're going to bend that leg. We're going to place the sole of the foot on the inside of that thigh. We're going to turn our body 45-degree angle, facing over this bent leg here. Take the right hand, place it behind that right hip for a little extra support. We're going to windmill our arm around on the inhale. So inhale, nice and deeply, bringing the arm up, taking the turn of the torso. And as you exhale, release and take the fold, hinging at the hips, taking the fold toward that foot. Perhaps you take hold of your ankle, maybe your shin, your calf, and if it feels good, take another inhale, and as you exhale, reach for the outer edge of that foot as we deepen the stretch. I like to make a little fist pillow here for my head, and as I inhale, creating extra length and space, I exhale and bring our heads to that little fist pillow, or perhaps you'd like to place your head firmly on your knee. Continuing to breathe, moving energy in and energy out. Lovely. Gently release that hold. Walk the hands back up, lifting the body back up to neutral. Extend that right leg, bounce it out a little bit, and then bend the left leg, placing that foot on the inside of that thigh. Placing the left hand behind the left hip. Inhale, we windmill our arm around, take the turn of the body, and exhale, reaching for that foot. But know that any place that you find, stay in a spot that's comfortable for you. We don't want to overdo it, but if it's there for you in your practice, you can reach for the outer edge of that foot. And as you continue to breathe in and exhale the air out, gently take the forehead toward the knee, using either fist pillow, or if you'd like to just gently release your forehead to the knee, that's okay as well. Just remembering to breathe. Energy in and energy out. This is a very deep stretch for the psoas, for the hip, and for the low back. So be gentle with yourself here. We don't want to force anything. Beautiful. And we can release from that. As we inhale, we bring our bodies back to an upright position and extend both legs long again this time. And we're going to do a seated forward fold with both legs extended out in front of us. So take your arms, bring them out by your side, rotate those palms up, take an inhale, reaching all the way up overhead, and as you exhale, hinging at your hips, keeping your heart lifted, your gaze lifted. Maybe we reach for the bottoms of those feet. But no, anywhere is okay. You can come to here and say, I'm okay. I'm feeling this in my low back. I really don't need to go any further. But if you want to intensify it, simply reach for the bottoms of the feet and continue to breathe. And with each breath you take in, create length, create room and space. And as you exhale, perhaps deepen the pose a little bit, but only taking it in a way that benefits you and your practice today. Beautiful. Another inhale and another exhale. One more time. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Nice. We gently can now walk our hands all the way back up and recross your legs now. If you remember which one is in front, usually I have my right one in front, so I'm going to recross my legs this way. As we begin to take ourselves into a nice spinal twist, so arms out to our side, palms facing up. Inhale, take that reach up overhead. Bring the palms together, and as you exhale, use the core muscles to begin the easy twist over toward the right. Placing that left hand on that right thigh, that right hand comes behind that hip. And we take another inhale, and as we exhale, deepen the twist if it's there for you. Turn and look over that back shoulder. Nice, nice. Take another inhale. Allow your head to slowly turn across the room. And as you exhale, release. Chin to that shoulder. Beautiful. Let's unwind from that. Let's take it all the way up. Hands are going to come back together. And as we exhale, we're going to take our easy twist, this time over to the left. Awakening the body. Taking some strength and some stretch poses today. Take another inhale. Create that room. And as you exhale, turn and look over that back shoulder. Breathing energy in and energy out. But also knowing, honor your body today. Only take it as far as it feels good to you. On our next inhale, let's take the nice slow turn of the head across the room. And as we exhale, release that chin to that shoulder and relax those shoulders. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's take another inhale. Sweep our arms out by our side. Up. Overhead, palms come together, and we exhale our hands down to our heart center. And here is like where I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. Perhaps something that can be practiced on as well as off of the mat. But whatever intention you come to, I invite you to bring that into your mind now. My intention is to practice acceptance today. Acceptance of things just the way they are, and knowing that this is the way they're supposed to be at this moment. Once you've decided on an intention, inhale, sitting up nice and tall again, and as you exhale, bow your head, sealing the energy and sealing the intention. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, we can release from that and come into tabletop. Meet me in tabletop. As we continue to stretch and strengthen our bodies through the practice of yoga. I have to do a little clothing adjustment, so pardon me. And we'll come into our tabletop. And from here, take an inhale. Take your right leg long. Toes are pointed down. And just pause here for a moment. Feeling the energy shifting in the body. On the next inhale, rotate those toes toward the right and open that hip. Feeling the opening of the hip, the balancing of the hips. And as we exhale, rotate the toes back toward the mat. Let's take that one more time. Inhale, rotate that toe, that foot toward the right side. Exhale, rotate it back down. One more. Inhale, rotate to the right. And as you exhale, rotate those toes back down and release onto the ball of that back foot. Gently begin to press away from the mat, and we rock forward. Opening up and stretching that Achilles heel, the calf. And if it's there for you, you want to lift that left knee off of the mat as you do this for a little bit of a power move here. We build some fire. As we stretch, we strengthen. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, come back to a neutral spot. Inhale, lift that right leg. And as you exhale, bend the knee, placing the knee back on the mat. And if you like, flip over that right hand. Maybe give it a couple of swirls and reset. We'll repeat that on the left side. Inhale, take that left leg long. Toes are pointed down. And we pause here for a moment and feel the shift of energy in the body. On our next inhale, we're going to rotate those left toes toward the left side of the room. Beautiful. Opening up that hip. And as we exhale, we're going to rotate them back down. One more time. Inhale. Open the hip. Rotate the toes. And exhale, toes pointed toward the mat. One more time. Inhale, rotate. And as we exhale, the toes come back toward the mat and we release onto the ball of that back foot. As we press away from the mat with our hands and we shift forward, feeling the awakening taking place in that left foot, the beautiful stretch. And if you would like to make it a bit more challenging, simply lift that right knee off of the mat as you shift the energy, building strength, building fire. As we stretch, we strengthen ourselves this morning. Beautiful, beautiful. If you've lifted that right leg off of the mat, replace that knee, lift that left leg, bend the knee, and replace that left knee to the mat. And this time, if you need to flip over that right hand, give it a little love, feel free to do so and reset. As we take hip rolls now, take an inhale, allow your gaze to come up, your heart to come forward, and as you exhale, begin to take some body rolls with the hips, going over to the right to begin with. We exhale on our way back around, and we inhale on our way toward the front, moving body with breath, strengthening as we go. Nice and easy. Nice, gentle rollings. We'll shift directions now. So, inhale, lift your heart, lift your gaze, and as you exhale, begin to circle those hips in the opposite direction. Allow them to circle, continuing to breathe. Always with our breath, we move our body in our moving meditation practice today. Feeling this through the hips, the back body. Nice. And we can come back up to neutral now. We're going to come up on to our knees for this next move. We'll move into lizard. And what I'd like for you to do is to take your right foot, place it on the mat in front of you, sort of toward the outer edge of the mat, and gently walk those toes in a forward direction. And as we do that, we can begin to shift. Shifting our weight, feeling the opening, the abductors. Maybe you feel this in your low back a little bit. When you're ready, take an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, and exhale the palms onto the inside of that right foot. And I invite you now to take some organic movements that feel nice to you. Maybe you lengthen through that back leg and shift the body in ways that feel good. Make note of the shifting of the energies. And if it's there for you, if you'd like to come down onto your forearms, maybe take a little bind here. There are so many places and ways you can take this movement right here of the lizard. I like to take it a bit organically. Just know that if it feels good, feel free to do it. If you need to back off a little, you can always back off. Once we've moved in our lizard, we'll take this right foot, scoot it a little more toward the center of the mat, and point those toes. Point those toes as if you're trying to press a tack into the ground. And then maybe back off and feel a stretch through the back of the leg. Let's do that again. Point that toe, press that toe toward the ground, and then bring that foot back. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice. Let's do that one more time. Just the slight shifting of the energies can affect totally different regions of the body. And once we have done that, if it's there for you, curl those back toes under. Power yourself up. We find ourselves kind of in a low split here. So take this in a way that feels good to you. If it feels good to come up like this, go ahead and do it. If you want to remain on the ground, feel free to do that as well. And then allow that back knee to float back down to the mat. And this time, we're going to take this right foot and we're going to help it across the mat as we find our pigeon. We're going to find our puff pigeon this morning. And I always like to take my hands and turn them toward the back of the mat so that at the same time I'm getting in my pigeon pose here, affecting my hips and my glutes and stuff. I'm also getting a nice stretch along the wrist. Gives the wrist a nice, beautiful stretch. But if that's not there for you, totally keep your hands in this position here. Nice, nice. If it's there, bend that back leg. Take that left hand and reach for that back foot. Take hold of that back foot if that feels good for you today. Do a little push-pull action. Open up over here toward the left side. And then gently, gently come down onto the forearm. This is a huge stretch across the quad on this left leg. We can release from that and gently come into our resting pigeon here, and even moving this resting pigeon a little bit organically. Beautiful, beautiful. Breathing energy in and energy out. Accepting your body for exactly where it's at today and knowing that that is where it is supposed to be. Nice. On our next inhale, we're going to come all the way back up, power through that back leg, slip that right leg back so that you're in high plank here, and gently come onto your knees and back up. And we'll repeat the same thing by balancing our energies on the left side. So when you're ready, take that left foot out here and gently begin to inch it toward the top of the mat a little bit. And you may notice that one side is completely different than the other. I know it is with me. And begin some gentle movements, easing back and forth, and only going as far as feels good to you in this practice today. And when you're ready, inhale your arms up overhead, and as you exhale, bring those palms down onto the inside of that left foot. Beautiful. Take some nice organic movements here that feel good for you. Pressing away and coming forward. If you'd like to come down onto your forearm or take a little bind here, feel free to do so. Taking this pose, there's, like I said, so many places you can take the lizard here. You might even spin that back leg around, taking it just in a way that feels good to you today. Allows you to stretch and open places that we may not get to on a daily basis. Beautiful, beautiful. And what we're going to do is walk this foot, just like we did the other one, toward the center of the mat. Stretch it out a little bit and begin to point that foot. Huge stretch across the top of the foot. And when we shift it back, a huge stretch on the back of that leg. So just taking this in a way that feels good to you and your practice today. Nice, nice. And if it feels good, turn those back toes under and lift yourself up, and you're like it almost in the splits here. I can't go all the way down. Never was able to when I was younger, but this is usually enough for me right here. And when you're ready, place that back knee down, and we'll take this foot, bring it across the mat, and find our pigeon on this side. And feel free, if you want to, rotate your hands toward the back of the mat as you get a little workout in the wrist as well. Gently begin to move this pigeon a little bit. Here we go. This is our puff pigeon. And if it's there for you, bend that back knee. Take that right hand and find that back foot. If it's there for you, knowing that just taking the puff pigeon in itself is enough stretch for a lot of people. But if you're able to grab hold of that foot and perhaps bring it with you as you come into, and don't fall over, right? Oh, feel that huge stretch in the front of that quad there. Beautiful. And we can release from that. And let's just come down into our resting pigeon for just a moment here. Maybe moving a little bit more as we continue to stretch and strengthen our bodies here. Nice, nice. So, let's come back up, puff pigeon, curl those back toes under, slip that left foot back to meet the right one, and we find ourselves here in a high plank. Let's just remain in high plank for a few moments, maybe gently shifting the energies back and forth, gentle rocking motions, high plank. Yes, this is a kind of a power move here, but it allows us to build strength in our bodies. And you don't want yourself here, or you don't want to be collapsing. You want the booty to be held tight, perhaps a squeeze in the thighs, definitely feeling it through the core here. Nice, nice. When you're ready, gently shift forward and a little bit at a time, very slowly, lower yourself onto your tummy. Nice and slow, not collapsing, slow and controlled. We bring ourselves to the ground. Beautiful. Let's stack our hands in front of us. Place your forehead on the back of your hands and gently rock the head from side to side, giving our third eye a nice massage here. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, sweep your hands down, place them on either side of your chest, and we'll take 3 cobras here together. So, inhale, lift, engage the legs. Thighs and pubic bones stay on the ground. And as you exhale, we can release our forehead back to the mat, and we'll move into our cobra one more time. Inhale, engage the feet, the legs, the core. And exhale, bring the forehead to the mat. One more time. Inhale, lift, power into that beautiful cobra. And as you exhale, bring the forehead to the mat. And from here, we're going to take Sphinx pose. So have your elbows shoulder width apart, palms of the hands are flat on the ground here. And we're just slowly release your forehead toward the mat and your chin to chest. And as you inhale, peel yourself up off of the mat a little bit at a time, scrubbing those palms and those elbows toward the back of the mat for a beautiful release in the low back. Nice. Let's gently melt into that once again, forehead coming down. And as we inhale, lifting the head, lifting the gaze nice and slowly, like we're peeling ourselves up off of the mat, scrubbing the elbows toward the back of the mat. Huge release in the lower back body. One more time, release the forehead. And inhale up, finding that Sphinx pose once again. And as we exhale, stacking our hands one more time, placing our forehead on the back of our hands, gently rocking from side to side. Beautiful, beautiful. When you're ready, bring those hands back by our chest, curl those back toes under, move back up into tabletop on the inhale, and on the exhale, lift those hips to the sky. Finding our first down dog of our practice here. Pedal out that dog. Take that dog and take him for a walk. Maybe bending one shoulder and then the next. But taking it in a way that feels good. Yes, it feels good. Lift the heels and lower the heels. Lift and lower. Beautiful. On your next breath, begin to walk your hands back towards your feet, and we'll find ourselves in our first standing forward fold. Simply allow your head to dangle. Allow your arms just to be limp for a moment. Feeling this is an inversion where our head is below our heart. Very, very good for you. When you're ready, gently bend your knees. Sweep your arms up overhead. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful job, ladies. Beautiful job. So we'll walk to the top of our mat here, and we're going to go through Namaskar A. And I'm going to move us into a couple of strength poses. If it feels good, you can do it. If not, feel free to modify. So when you're ready, feel your mountain, grounding into your feet. All four corners of your feet. Take the inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, step back into high plank. Let's remain in high plank here for just a moment. And from high plank, we're going to come onto our forearms. So we're in a forearm plank. Take your time to get there. And when you have found the forearm plank, we're going to rotate those back feet. We're going to open up over to the left and do a few crunches, side body crunches here. So you're in a forearm plank. Once you found your spot, take an inhale, reach back with that elbow. As you exhale, take that elbow, tap the ground. Take another inhale, open it up, and as you exhale, tap the ground. Take another inhale, open it up, and as you exhale, tap the ground. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we'll simply open up and then return to our forearm plank and repeat the same thing on the opposite side. So shuffling of the feet, rolling into the side plank, right hand is by the right ear, elbow is up. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, take that elbow, tap the mat. Take another inhale, opening up. And as you exhale, elbow to mat. One more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, elbow to mat. One more time. Inhale, open up. And as you exhale, simply return to both forearm. In the plank pose here, release your knees to the mat and gently press yourself back into child's pose. I like to take my child's pose with my toes together and my knees separated. But taking this in a way that feels good for you today in your practice. Beautiful, beautiful. Energy flows in and energy flows out. Nice. I'd like for us to take puppy pose now. So puppy pose is taken with the hips in the air. The arms are stretched out in front, walking the hands out, coming onto the chin at first. This is a huge stretch to the shoulders, the upper back. It can also be tense on the lower back. So only take this in a way that feels good to you and your practice. And see if you can come a little deeper by coming onto your chest and chin, balancing on the mat. Beautiful stretch here. Feeling it through the upper body, the shoulders, the lower back. Continuing to breathe, energy in and energy out. Beautiful, beautiful. On our next inhale, we'll lift our gaze, lift our heart. Hands will slide back. We'll find our tabletop once again. Curl our toes under. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift the hips to the sky. Another down dog we find ourselves in here. Beautiful, beautiful. Take an inhale, purposely lifting the heels, and as you exhale, rotate those heels over toward the left. Bit of a different stretch here. Take another inhale, coming up on the toes, and this time releasing the heels over to the left. Beautiful, beautiful. Take those heels up to the sky. Exhale the heels toward the back of the mat. They don't have to come all the way down. Simply taking the action is a huge release on our lower back. Beautiful. From here, we want to lift our gaze, shift ourselves forward. We're going to go into a side plank, a full side plank. So take your right hand, place it in the middle of the mat, and open up. And here we have our side plank. Nice pose of strength. And we hold this. We hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to plank. Same thing on the opposite side. Left hand in the center of the mat. Right arm goes into the sky. And we'll hold this for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate back to high plank. Shifting back to down dog. And walking our hands once again back to meet our feet in another forward fold. And from this position, walk your hands over to the right. Bring them back to center. Walk them over to the left. And then bring them back to center. Gently bend the knees. Sweep the arms up overhead. Palms together. Hands to heart center. Nice, nice. Now I'd like for us to come down onto our backs, but we're going to venture there through the mala and the boat. So let's take our mala pose, our garland pose. Our toes are at 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 10 and 2. Just a comfortable place where you can take an inhale, and as you exhale, shift the hips toward the back of the room and come into this nice, beautiful space here. Now, you may come here and say, this is enough, I don't need to go any further. So if it's there for you and you want to come on down, feel free to come on down. Place both elbows on the insides of the thighs. Place the palms together. Give a nice little push, a little opening here, a little stretching. Beautiful. Stretch through the inner thighs. Nice. And as we release from that, we'll come on to a seated position as we prepare to traverse onto our back. And we'll go through a boat ride here. So we're going to come back, creating our little boat. We'll lift one foot and then the other. And here we have like a half boat. This is a full boat. This is a half boat. So let's inhale, lengthen, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, bring it in. Straighten one leg, bend the other, bring it back up. Bend the right leg, bring it back up. All these are huge, powerful, core building moves. And when you're ready, gently, gently, gently come onto your back. Find ourselves on our backs this morning. I invite you to bring your knees into your heart. Give yourself a little hug. Swishing from side to side a little bit. Huge sacral massage here. Nice, nice. Now let's place both feet back on the ground. Walk your hands toward your heels as we prepare for a moving bridge. So on the inhale, lift the hips toward the sky. Lift the upper back off of the ground. If it feels good, clasp your hands behind your back. Pull your hands towards your heels. Feeling the pose, feeling the strength. And we can release from that and we'll do it again. Once you've touched down, take an inhale. Lifting those hips, sending them toward the sky. Clasping the hands, drawing the hands toward the heels, and release that. One more time. I like series of threes, I guess you can tell. Inhale. Take those hips toward the sky. Clasp the hands. Beautiful, beautiful. And release from that. Let's take our right foot, place it on top of our left knee. From here, inhale, lift that left foot, And exhale, extend that foot toward the ceiling, like we're gonna walk on the ceiling. Reach for the back of that left thigh, clasp the hands, and allow gravity to bring you back to the ground. Relax the shoulders, relax the head, keep the feet flexed. Perhaps you can still rock a bit from side to side. Or maybe you take that right elbow and you press away on that right leg. Nice, nice. Now, we'll release from that. Take it on the opposite side. Cross the foot over. Lift that leg. Extend that right leg toward the ceiling. Both feet are flexed. Reach for the back of that right thigh. Interlace your fingers and then allow your shoulders just to melt back into the mat. Maybe you take that elbow and press on the inside of that left leg. Gently rocking back and forth from side to side. Taking this in a way that feels good to you and your practice today. We can release from that now. Unwind you from that. Take your arms out into a T, palms facing up. As you inhale, lift your hips, lift your knees towards you. As you exhale, release those knees over to the right. Turn your head to the left. Gaze over those left fingertips. Continuing to breathe, energy in and energy out. Nice twist here. On our next inhale, we're going to take that left hand, we're going to bring it straight up to 12 o'clock, straight up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to bring both of those palms together. We find ourselves here in a bit of a resting baby. I invite you to take an inhale. Take those left fingers and reach out beyond that right hand. And as you exhale, slowly trace a half moon, taking your gaze with it over your head. When you come to the top, come onto the back of your hand and finish the exhale, finding ourselves right back where we began in this twist here. Beautiful, beautiful move. Take another inhale, lift the knees, lift the hips, and as you exhale, release them over to the left side now. We turn our head to the right. Our gaze is over those right fingertips. As we continue to breathe. Beautiful. On your next inhale, take that right arm straight up overhead and exhale. Bring both of those palms together. Once those palms are together, as you inhale, reach the right fingertips out beyond the left ones. And on the exhale, take that beautiful half moon, bringing our gaze with it. At the top, we come onto the back of the hand. And as we exhale, we find ourselves back where we started here. Energy in and energy out. Beautiful. One more time. Energy in and energy out. As we take our next inhale, bringing our knees back up toward our heart. So reach for the outer edges of those feet. Find our happy baby. Push away with the feet. Pull with the hands. Maybe do some gentle rocking. Maybe you like to extend both legs long. Maybe bringing the soles of the feet together. But simply taking this last bit of stretch and strength with purpose before we descend into our Shavasana today. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's release from that and find what I like to call as my ball of tension. We'll inhale, lift the shoulders, lift the head, lift the heart. Squeeze everything you got. Squeeze it, squeeze it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Allow the legs to go long. Feet can drape over to the side. Roll the shoulder blades under. Extend the arms out. Finding our our resting corpse pose here, Shavasana pose. Taking in a way that feels good. Maybe you want to place something under your neck or head, back or knees. Feel free to do so at this time as we prepare for our final resting pose here. One of the most coveted poses of yoga, Shavasana, when we rest. This is where we begin to balance the energies once again by bringing down the heart rate, slowing the breath rate, taking hold of the space as a place of sacred renewal. We can release negative tensions here and replace them with positive ones so that we are in balance. And as you continue to breathe, concentrate on my voice. If you find any tension anywhere left in your body, please release that as we move along. Back in the late 1800s, when the English were occupying India, some of the English fellows got together and they said they wanted to build a golf course so that their friends could come and play, and they thought this would be a grand idea, so they spent a lot of money developing this absolutely gorgeous golf course. And when it was completed and the first players began to move on to the greens, they found there was a problem, that when they would hit their ball and it would land, little monkeys would run out of the forest and out of the trees and grab the balls and throw them. And this frustrated the golfers. They didn't know what to do, so they thought they had a solution. They decided to build a huge fence all the way around the golf course. And they did this. It was quite an elaborate fence, expensive. They got the fence completed and they returned to their game of golf. But what they found was monkeys, they can come over the fence. They can scale the fence. There was nothing for them just to get up on the fence and scurry down the other side. So they were still faced with the same problem. The monkeys would take the balls and throw them. And so what they decided to do next was to bring in some young boys with big baskets of fruit. And they would sit on the top of the fence, and as the monkeys ran toward the fence to scale it, they would throw the fruit toward the forest in hopes of luring them back out to the forest and away from the golf course. Well, all this did was entice other monkeys to come to the feeding. They were having a frenzy like, oh wow, free fruit over here. So all these monkeys began to come, and they weren't just taking the fruit, they were scaling the walls, they were taking the balls, they were throwing the balls, and the golfers once again were just faced with this dilemma. So what wound up happening in the end is the owners of the course came together and they decided that this one golf course, only one like it in the world, would play alongside the monkeys. And if a monkey came and took their ball and threw it, they had to play that ball from where it landed. In other words, what they did was they just knew they had to accept those monkeys. They were actually in the monkeys' territory, so they had to play along with them. They had to accept the fact that, hey, my ball may be picked off by a monkey and tossed into the rough, and I'm going to have to play it from there. But this became quite a phenomenon, and people from all over came and wanted to play the course where they played alongside the monkeys. But that's just an excellent example of acceptance. Sometimes there are things that we just feel like we can't accept. We must change them. But what really needs to be changed is the way that we view them. the way that we feel about them, the way we respond to them. We learn to respond instead of to react. Energy flows in and energy flows out. On your next inhale, maybe wiggle the fingers a little bit, maybe move the toes, move the feet, make some circles with the wrist. Take another inhale, take your arms up overhead, and as you exhale, goalpost the arms on either side of your body, and gently walk the feet in a little at a time until you can gather your knees once again into your heart, gently rocking from side to side. And when you're ready, come on to your right side. Find your resting baby here. And as your baby comes for this final resting space, I invite you to recall to your mind the intention that was set for your practice today. Know that you can carry it off the mat with you. And no matter where you go, your breath goes with you. So a good pranayama practice can be done at any time throughout the day. When you're ready, gently take your left hand, press yourself back up into your Sukhasana, your nice easy seat. Close the eyes, hands come to heart center. Feel the energies that move between the two hemispheres of the body, the right, the left, the destroyer, the creator, Shiva Shakti. Take your thumbs, place them on your forehead. May all thoughts that we think today be kind, compassionate, loving, and truthful. Thumbs to lips, may the vibrations, the words we send out to the universe be of a compassionate, uplifting, and a kind nature. Once again, we find our hands at our heart centers. Our thumbs can press into our solar plexus, perhaps feeling the beat of our heart. It is the light and love in me that sees and honors the light and love in you. Thank you for allowing me to lead you in this practice today. Namaste. Truly, thank you.